Hi, I'm Amber from UVM Extension, and we're going to do a little work on our water line. This is a really great time to do it before it gets too covered up by weeds and grass, hopefully. Anyways, so this is my 3/4 inch line, and my water source is off right now. And you can see I have it right next to my fence. Thank you. I have it right next to my fence, and the reason I put my water line next to my fence is so that I don't drive on it. It's just, it's easy to know that it's there and it's safe, and then also so my water tanks and water lines can be there so that livestock also aren't walking on them very much. I have hopefully all the supplies I need in here, and yeah. So I'm going to cut this in. I like to cut my quartz in near a post so that they're easier to find. Like in the tall grass, it's much easier to look around a fence post. It's always there than to search the whole length. And this is not my favorite cutter. My husband used the cutter for something and I can't find it right now. So anyways, I have one of those ones that you just slice through that I like better. And the reason why is because it doesn't make a bunch of little plastic shrapnel that goes in the pipe and then potentially gets stuck in your ports. But this one works okay. And you know, as farmers, we just make do with the things that we have sometimes. So I have my little box here of hose clamps. And just remember to put your hose clamp on first before you heat it. And then, you know, you don't have to heat this pipe. I think it makes it easier to work with, for sure. And you can always, if you have a rubber mallet, you can use that to bang it in. And then I like to tighten my hose clamp about midway down. And just like a lot of plumbing stuff, you want to make sure that you don't over tighten because you just break it off and then have to use another one. And then I'm going to put a hose clamp on this side. And you know, you don't want to overheat these pipes, but it's definitely you have to heat it enough to get it on the other side if you can't bang it on. And of course, I really have a busy team here, the baby and the dog and little kids. So tighten this right on. And then the last part is these, I really like these ports. These are Plisson, like quick attach valves. This is a female part, and we will show you the male part. I keep actually attached to, the male part I keep attached to the actual stock tank that I drag around, and I'll show you how that works in a minute. So I use a little bit of Teflon tape on my my screw-in valves because I think that it helps seal against leaks. I don't use pipe dope for this kind of thing. I do use pipe dope sometimes when I actually add like an on-off valve, but I don't think pipe dope is necessary for putting these together, and it makes a giant mess. So you definitely want to tighten these, but try not to over tighten them. And then, yeah, and then this is all ready to go. If you want to do the same thing with your water source on, it's no big deal. Yeah, you can, there's a hole in the middle. That's where the male part goes, and when it presses down, then water shoots out. So what you can actually do is you can actually go towards where your water source is coming from. You can insert another hose and let the water flow out over there while you're working on this valve. All right. So we're back with our water tank and everything. So this is for sheep, so it's not that big, obviously, and it's dusty, so I'll clean this out before I use it. But I cut this valve in. This is a Job float. For cows, I like the Job float that has the big ball and the string. It works great. I don't recommend using this arm one for cows because they tend to rub on stuff and they can break it off. Horses also. But sheep are fine with this because they don't like to get wet, so they don't really put their face in the tank very deep. After you cut it in, you need to put in your, you know, you have to have like an adapter. And if you look at the adapter, you can see that there's hose thread on one side. Sorry, this is garden hose thread on this side, and then this is iron pipe thread. This is iron pipe thread, so these two go together. And then you want to put the other end, your garden hose, on here. So I don't love these plastic adapters. I actually recommend using brass ones. This is just one that I have laying around, so we'll see if it actually leaks or not. If it does leak, chuck it, because you literally, once they start leaking, they never work. So that's attached, and then we're gonna put this over here, and then you see here's the end that we're gonna connect to the supply line. This is your female part, and this is your male part. So this is going to be on your water line that's under your fence, right? And then this is going to be attached to your tank. So you can drag your tank around carefully, of course, so you don't break off this stuff sticking out. And then once you get to your port, because you're going to have ports every like 50 feet or 30 feet, whatever you want along your fence, you just stick this in, and it clips right on like that. And this is attached to your hose, and then when you're ready to detach it, you just do that, and then you can take your tank and walk away. The end.